Let me ask you a question. How balanced is your life? With the kind of situation we are in, the demand on your professional life is going so much high that we are kind of not able to do justice to our family life, right? So then you suddenly realize, oh my God, you know what? I need to have a work-life balance, and you start spending time with family. Your boss says we need to have a chat on your performance. Have you been there? So with you are being very smart. You try to balance these three. Health takes a beating, and you try to balance these four. Social relationships start taking beating. There are too many things we are juggling with. Finally we say, you know what, I don't have time for myself, I have time for everyone. Have you been there? I've been guilty of it, and many performers today are going through the same challenge. So what do? Should we just give up, or is there a hope, and is there a way to balance and be super happy in our life? Yes, you can, and that's what this video is all about. So let's begin. Hi, my name is Neeraj Kumar. Thank you so much for watching this channel, and I'm so happy to bring you a very new concept about probably the most discussed aspect of today's life, that is, how do we create balance in life with so many things going around. I promise you this video could be a breakthrough or a game changer in your life, especially if you're struggling with this one. If not, you may probably want to share this with somebody whom you know is kind of struggling. It would be an honor to have you as a subscriber. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. Please give us a like. We will be super motivated. Being a coach, therapist, and a trainer, I work with a lot of successful people. And when I talk to them individually, they come back and tell me, Neeraj, you know what? I have everything, but somehow I am not happy. And they lack that fulfillment even though they're extremely successful. And when we dig deeper, we realize that even though they are successful in few areas, they see there is an imbalance in some other area. It could be, for example, a person is very happy with his financial life, but somehow he lacks that connection with his family. And when these two are taken care of, somehow he's kind of isolated with the society. So there is an imbalance, and a person who's very happy with everything, he comes back and tells me, this is an actual conversation I had. He says, you know what, Neeraj, with all these things, I'm only asking, is this all it is in life? Why did I take birth? What is the purpose of life? So he's kind of having an existential crisis. Now, do you relate to this whole thing? That means there has to be a balance. And I heard a beautiful one-liner which said, success without fulfillment is a failure. So how do we bring in this balance? What is this fulfillment? We talk about Indian tradition, culture, and heritage, and scriptures and stuff like that. One of the finest concepts that is discussed in our scriptures is balance in life. And the concept that I'm going to be talking to you is probably the most powerful ones. And whenever I have presented this to those who achieved, their eyes kind of are lit up, and they say, you know what, Neeraj, I never thought the concept going to be so powerful. And they thank me profusely. Credit to all those people whom I've learned from. So let's discover that a little today. In order to live a very happy, fulfilled, and balanced life, we must be extremely happy with individual categories of life. It could be career, finance, health, social life, and also there has to be a balance. So let me define 8 categories which are kind of a primary, and you may want to come up with some more. So let us discuss what are those 8 categories that define our life and success. Number 1 is career. Second, finance. Third one, family. Fourth one, social relationships. Fifth one, health. Sixth, personal competency. Seventh, emotional. Eighth, spiritual. So these are the 8 categories we need to improve and create a balance. What is interesting about these categories? They are independent, but they are interdependent. For example, health and career are two very independent, but they are interdependent. Just imagine your health is not good, so you cannot work on the career so that health improves. No, it doesn't work like that. But if you're not healthy, does it affect your career? 100%. So they are independent and they are interdependent. So the discussion what we're going to have today is how do we enhance each and how do we create a balance between all the 8. This concept of independent and interdependence is beautifully depicted in our spirituality. It's called Bhavachakra, that's from our Vedas and Upanishads, and has been adopted by Buddha in a concept called Wheel of Life. So what we will do, we will create a wheel of life for you. So if you don't have a pen and paper, I think you must grab one. And if you're driving by any chance, I'm sure you may not be able to look at it. But if you are in the middle of something, somehow manage to grab a pen and paper. Because we will actually create a wheel of life. Wheel of life is very simple. He represents the entire 8 categories into a wheel, and each spoke is each category. It is just like a wheel with 8 spokes, and each spoke represents each category, and it is like a spider diagram. Center is at 0 and periphery is at 10. So what we will do, we will create a wheel of life for you and spend about 5-10 minutes doing it. You're going to love this concept. Okay, now let us create a wheel. You can see the wheel here, 8 spokes, 0 at the center, and please write one category for each, right from finance, career, health, so on and so forth. Keep it ready and then we will discuss. Now that you have a blank wheel of life, let us map where are you on each category. Let's start with finance. How happy are you with your financial life? 0 means you're completely devastated and you just have no clue how will you survive in your financial life. That is 0. 10 is you're super thrilled with your financial life. It is not an absolute number, it is just a perception. So for example, think about when you were a student, or if you're a student, what if you had 10,000 bucks in your pocket? It's like 10 on 10. You almost feel like Bill Gates, right? So 10,000 bucks is a huge money when you're a student. But when you are working on a high paying job, 10,000 rupees in your bank balance is a disaster. So the money doesn't change. Your perception of that money is different. That's exactly what do I mean by where are you today in your financial life. If you say I'm very, very happy with my financial life, mark 10. Or mark 8, 9, whichever the number comes to you. For example, I work with a lot of corporates, and when we do this exercise, I ask executives. So they say, you know what, Neeraj, I'm probably at 3. I ask them, give me an arbitrary your salary. He says, I get about 70,000 a month, and with all my EMIs, I have about 25,000 as my savings, but I'm not too happy about it. So I ask them, what is your definition of 10 on 10? He says, you know what, Neeraj, if I get 2 lakhs a month, then it's a 10 on 10. Perfectly okay. So that is 10 on 10. So if that is the case, where are you currently? He says, I'm at 3 or 4. That's exactly what you're supposed to mark. The reason why I said it is not an absolute number, because 2 lakhs for an executive is 10 on 10. 2 lakhs for Bill Gates is a disaster. So it is not the amount of money, it is your perception of the money you need to mark. I'm spending a little time here because I want you to understand this concept thoroughly. Now let us talk about health. So how do you mark 0 to 10? What is your perception of your health? Some people say, you know what, I have to have 6-pack. Even if it is 4-pack, they rate themselves very low. It has got no comparison with others, okay? It is your comparison with your own standards. Some people say, you know what, as long as I'm in shape, perfect. Some people say, you know what, even shape is also okay. As long as I don't have a disease, I am perfectly okay. So what according to you is your perception of health, and where are you on that? If you say, you know what, I am so healthy, I can run, I'm fit, I'm in a shape, no problem, give yourself 10 or 9 or 8. But if you say, you know what, Neeraj, you know what, when I get up in the morning, I feel like I weigh 400 kgs and stuff like that, and you're not so good with your health. That's all I'm trying to say. So where do you mark yourself? 0 to 10. Put a dot on that spoke. Let's talk about relationship. Now, this is not a very hard thing. If you believe that when you go home, you're so happy to be with your family, there is nobody knows who's the boss in your family, everybody is having a say, everybody is enjoying their life, and there is a respect for each other, and you love spending time with each other, and that's what you're enjoying, you're probably 8, 9 or 10. But if you think that you cannot ask one question extra and it is like a landmine every sentence, I don't know how it will be perceived. And on a lighter side, during my workshop I say this: if you can tell your spouse that the sugar level in the coffee is not all that great and still get away with no problems, then you have no problems in your family. How happy are you? How is your relationship with your family? 0 to 10, mark your number. So how do you rate your social life? Think about it. You give a call to your friend and he doesn't recognize your voice nor your number stored in his mobile. Not a good situation. Or sometimes you may get to hear, oh my God, look who's calling. How come we were remembered, man? I mean, you're a big guy, no? You don't have time for all of that. You get to hear these kind of comments. That means you have not been in touch with them. So the whole idea, where are you on your social life with friends who matter to you? Because we have this problem. I will talk to this guy one day, and that one fine day is yet to come. Has it happened to you? I've been guilty of it many, many times. Okay. So if you are happy with your friends and you go out often or you're in touch with each other, you have a blast with friends, probably you deserve 8, 9 or 10. If not, you're not too happy, you've been very stuck with family, career and stuff like that, you've paid very little attention to your social life and friendship, you probably want to rate yourself 1, 2 or 3. So it's your number. Let's talk about competency. It's a very important category. How are you enhancing your competency over a period of last, let's say 3, 5, 10 years? Are you happy with your development? If you say, you know what, Neeraj, I don't know, I kind of got stuck with my professional life, I haven't been able to upgrade myself, rather upskill or reskill myself, I'm kind of in a comfort zone and I'm not too happy about it. Probably you may want to give 2 or 3. Or you say, you know what, Neeraj, I'm so happy because I'm doing my certifications, I'm reskilling myself, I'm upskilling myself, I am ready for the kind of a changing world, I'm super happy with my competency development. Give yourself 8, 9 or 10. So where are you at this point of time on the spoke of competency? Let's talk about your career. How happy are you with your career? Are you happy? Are you passionate to go to office? Do you have Monday blues, or you are waiting for the weekend to get over and you just want to be with the office and you love every single day being with work or being at the office? Then give yourself 8, 9 or 10. But if you say, you know what, I have to go to office, you drag yourself to go to office, or you drag yourself to do the work and you just don't enjoy, give yourself 1 or 2. You don't like your job. So, but the bigger question I have is, do you have the purpose? Because we confuse between passion and purpose. They are completely different. If you are confused between passion and purpose, I have a video and the title is Following Your Passion Can Be Dangerous. You will discover in-depth insights about the difference and how do you marry your passion and purpose. I recommend you to watch that. Now let's talk about 2 more spokes. One is emotional, another one is spiritual. How do you feel every day on a daily basis? Do you feel happy? Are you in peace with yourself? When you get up in the morning, how do you feel? If you feel, oh my God, why me? If that's the emotion you're feeling, then probably you're at 1, 2 or 3. Or you say, you know what, I've never been happier in my life, I'm so happy today, or I'm kind of I'm a happy soul. If you feel that happiness on an ongoing basis, give yourself 8, 9 or 10. So where are you on happiness? That's your number. Last but not the least, probably a very important category for a lot of people, it is called spirituality. This category is particularly important because I've seen a lot of very successful people coming back and say, you know what is the whole purpose of all this drama? Why am I living? If you are in that quest or you want to have that connection with the super soul, if you believe in that, so where are you? You know what, Neeraj, I'm kind of an agnostic person. I don't know. God has his own business. I'm in my own business. We don't disturb each other. If that's the kind of a situation you are in and you're not too bothered about it, then don't bother about it. You may want to replace that spirituality category with what I call giving back to the society. There is something called give back. So how happy are you with your social service or giving back? Do you spend time with orphanages, or do you find yourself helping the needy? I know it is a very important thing for you and you feel good about it. How happy are you with that life? So if you believe in God, how happy are you with your connection and your sadhana, what we call? If you are a giving back person, how happy are you with yourself? 0 to 10, please mark. Now that you're aware of all these categories and you have put dots on each spoke, what I want you to do, I want you to join these dots. Look at the shape. Okay, I'll talk to you about it. Just look at the shape. If you're a student, you may have a question, but Neeraj, finance is not my category because probably I may never earn till I start earning. I'm a student. So remove finance, put it with something else. Let's say hobby or extracurricular activities or something else that is critical for you as a student. So this is a tool. You can replace the categories of growth, with your own ones. Okay, these primary are kind of a representation of a general situation. What are we missing here? Glaring, probably unless you are a superhuman being with absolutely enlightened soul, there may be a category that is a little low on one side, little high on one side. You may have seen or you may be observing there is an imbalance. So what's the problem? One is imbalance, but you might probably say, but what, Neeraj, if I have 1 1 1 1 everywhere, it becomes a beautiful circle. Is it okay to be balanced like that? Absolutely not. Remember, they're all 1 1 1. If something happens to your health, you are a history. Or if something happens to your finance, everything collapses. So 1 1 is not a balance, it's a disaster. So it should not only be a great balance, but also it should be the overall size of the wheel. So your life is a car, and these are the 4 wheels that you have fitted onto your car. So tell me how the ride would be. Pretty bumpy, isn't it? So what is missing? Balance and the size of the wheel. Today we talk about SUVs. One of the features of SUV is a 17-inch alloy wheel, 18-inch alloy wheel. That means a bigger the tire, smoother and better the ride would be. So we want the wheel to be bigger. At the same time, it should be in the form of a wheel, not a star. Let me also give you an insight about this wheel of life. This actually blew my mind when I learned this. When I told you about a primary category, for example, let us take relationship as a category. You can actually create a wheel on the relationship. For example, you may want to have 8 spokes in your relationship. One of the spoke is relationship with your spouse. Another one, relationship with your kids. Another one, relationship with your siblings. Another one with your parents. Other one with your in-laws. Other one with your niece, cousins, or whatever it is, who matter to you. That means wheel of life can be done for each category. It could be for health. On one hand, you may say, okay, my blood is okay, my BMI is okay, my stamina is okay, my vital parameters are okay. They all become individual spokes. Maybe your blood, you have no problems, but your BMI, not all that great. So that could be another wheel. So it's a very, very beautiful and a very deep concept. It all depends on how deep you want to go. Okay, now that you understand the wheel and how imbalanced it is and what is the need for balance and growth, there is one mistake everyone does when they discover this concept. That means they will discover all of a sudden, I do this in the workshop, they see their family life is not doing so well. So what do they do next? Oh my God, forget everything, spend time with family. Big mistake. Because you know what? The moment they start spending time with their family, their career takes a beating, their health takes a beating, their social life takes a beating, their spiritual life takes a beating. That means you cannot just jump onto a category which is a little low on the scale. There has to be a different ball game, because the moment you do that, it will cost something else. What would that strategy be? So you now must be very curious. Okay, now I understand my wheel. Now I understand where am I? How do I balance? How do I grow? That's going to be my next video, because if I include that, this video will be a little longer one. It's not very easy to come up with wheel of life like this. You may want to spend some time with yourself and actually create a wheel of life. I hope this was interesting, and I sincerely hope that you will watch the next video, because in that video you will discover that strategy, or probably some of the strategies that could change the way you're going to not only be successful, but also come up with amazing strategies for fulfillment. So thank you very much once again for taking your time to watch this video. I hope you have subscribed. If not, my request, kindly subscribe. And I believe this can help a lot of people to find happiness within. So if you know somebody who really needs help, please forward this. I'll see you very shortly with the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep sharing.